It's a little bit before 3 o'clock, so I guess we're about 7 hours in. This dumpster, for all intents and purposes, is full. This one is also pretty full. It's not too bad. Got a little more left. The inside is done. Seth and Dan took care of that. And Drew and I have been doing the outside. This side of the house hasn't changed much. We've started to make a pile specifically for metal. The next phase is to clear all of this out into piles over here and over there, so that this is nice and open, so that we can get another dumpster in here, hopefully for next weekend, because the dumpsters are full and we're nowhere near being done. Deck has been cleared off. Took all the debris out for the most part. A couple things left. The rest of this has had huge change. I think this tree was down earlier, but we've now completely cleared out the back fence line all the way to the far corner. Basically where the guys are standing now was the edge of blackberry bushes, and it was solid all the way back. That's been completely cleared out. The trailer is now free. We've got a couple piles here left to clear up, but otherwise, it's pretty serious progress. The trailer's completely full. This has been scraped and bladed as best we can for now. It's gonna need some fill of some sort anyways. But this was completely inaccessible before. So this whole entire side is clear. Most of it's been scraped. We've cleaned out around the trailer. There was multiple additional trees and tree stumps buried all back in here. I think we pulled at least 2 trees out, and at least two more stumps, if not more, that were buried under blackberry bushes. We've had multiple layers of tarps. As we start to pull debris back, we uncover a tarp. We start to pull that back, find more debris, eventually get down to another layer of tarp, multiple layers of, like right here, plywood, lots and lots and lots of lumber. That is just completely deteriorated, which makes it extremely difficult. As you can see with this is another piece of wood that was buried, and it just, as we're pulling things up, becomes uncovered quite a bit. There's another chunk of some sort of timber here. Lots of it. On top of that, all of the blackberry vines were extremely long and extremely strong. It wasn't uncommon to find vines ranging up to 1/2 inch in diameter that were longer than we could measure. I mean, this is, as an example, this diameter was common all the way throughout. This was one big massive nest of blackberry vines. There was more debris, something that looked like was partially maybe a garden at some point in time. Found a whole pile of these posts. You can kind of see some of them sticking here. I mean, it's a pretty good sized chunk of wood, and there was 6, maybe 10 of those stacked up over in this general area. Lots of concrete chunks. We found multiple piles of metal brackets, planter boxes. Anything that's plastic just disintegrates and shatters when you try to move it because it's so old and deteriorated. Makes it very difficult to keep clean. We've got down in here, which we can't get too close right now because of the trailer. The trailer is actually on blocks, we found out. It's on cinder blocks and wood on all 4 corners. But there's glass, like pane glass, all in here that we're gonna have to scrape up to get rid of. Another example of how large these blackberry vines are. I mean, that's almost as big as my thumb in diameter. They're massive. Anyways, the plan right now is to continue to scrape the rest of this debris into piles that we can then access once the dumpsters get serviced. And hopefully we'll have the dumpster back here so that we can make multiple short trips to get the rest of this loaded up and not have to go all the way around the property to pile them up. A lot of work, a lot of effort in a short period of time. Probably another, it's almost 3 o'clock right now, so we got maybe 2 more hours of sunlight to make this happen. So hopefully we'll get it done.